Well, hello, and welcome to Wacky Wednesday. HVU family, we're so happy you're here, and while others pour in, we have ML Redneck Renegade with us tonight. But before we go into this awesome stuff that he's bringing for us tonight, I wanted to remind you all that in our description, you can find several links. One to our WordPress, which has services, red pilling, herbal recipes, and a lot of other stuff, PDFs, all sorts of stuff that you should go check out if you haven't been there. Also, for our HVU gear, like a Jason Q mug, or if you want his mug on your chest, we have shirts and bags. Go take a look at that. That's at our Etsy store. And then ASEA, we have an interesting update about that, but we'll bring that up a little bit later today in the show. And the link is there too in the description. Am I missing anything, kid? About what's there? Oh, Truth Tour.
Yes.
So Truth Tour is beginning in 2 days. Jason Q has already flown out to California and is going to be
enjoying his half-naked time in the spa.
Yeah, we just heard about that he's in the spa with Lewis.
Yep.
Rude.
Last night without us. I'd get, well, not half naked. No, not me. I would take off my sleeves and my
and dip your little itty-bitty toes.
Oh, no, I'd get in. I would so get in
it's
with
hot.
it.
Woo! It's cold.
With everyone piling there at his house, though, I doubt that there's any room for anyone else.
bet.
They probably had a great big party in that spot. But we're so happy you guys are here with us tonight. We have no idea if Jay plans on dropping in on tonight's show. Sometimes he really surprises us.
But we're ready for him, just in case.
Just in case.
Just in case.
But Redneck Renegade, we got in touch with each other just this week, and he's like, Candy, I have some stuff to drop. And I said, let's get you on the show. So here he is.
Hey, I'm happy to be here, guys.
Oh, we
Happy to
love
be here.
you,
Blessings to
ML.
guys. I love you back. Thank you. Thank you. Well, I'm excited to be here with you guys tonight on Wacky Wednesday. Seems like time is just flying by fast. I mean, fast, you know. I think those that are in tune, you guys are feeling it. We're all feeling it, right? There's some shifts that are happening in our world, both personally and around us. We're all feeling these amazing shifts that are actually happening.
Yeah, I totally agree, especially with everything that's happening within the world. It's so much is starting to come out that a lot of the red pilling that we used to do kind of looked like kids play. Now that we're starting to get into the grown-up stuff of things coming out, and it's starting to get crazy. And we're seeing it in the cities that we're living in, and the people that we are meeting out on the streets are just changing, and you could feel it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think we're at this point where the Great Awakening, it's been happening for quite a while, actually. It's not something that's just relatively new, especially since Trump was president. It's been happening for a long time. For me, I've been on the Great Awakening tour for like 25 years, right? Back then, we were called conspiracy theorists. Well, now, you know, anything that's a conspiracy theory, it's no longer a conspiracy theory because it comes true within the next, 6 months. It becomes actually factual and true, so it's no longer a conspiracy anymore. We're conspiracy factists now, truth tellers. But I think we're in this shifting. Now we're going into the true awakening, the true awakening. And I equate that with like the Great Awakening are certain truths that we've been trying to be accustomed to, like UFOs, right? That's been something that's been around for decades. So, or, government, shadow government conspiracies, all these different things like that. But we're like shifting because those of us that have been awake for a while, we've now ascended into our shift, our thinking. We're now into the true awakening period. Now we're in this next level of our fact finding mission where we're starting to discover deeper truths. And these aren't for the newbies that are just being red pilled right now. I know that in short order, I know and I believe from the information that I'm getting, that a lot of you guys are getting, everything is going to culminate this year. Everything is culminating this year. Granted, we've got, 4 months left in the year, something to that effect.
Mm-hmm.
Well, things are picking up momentum, for sure. And that's what I wanted to kind of touch on with you guys tonight, is to talk about some of the things of why people are feeling a certain way right now. The uneasiness, the restlessness, the sleeplessness, the different things that they're feeling from a physical standpoint or an emotional standpoint or a spiritual standpoint, for all good reason. Because this shift we keep talking about, this ascension shift that we've actually been a part of, we're in it. We're in the fourth dimension, guys. We're not in the third dimension anymore. Now, I can't say all of us are in the fourth dimension. We're talking about a conscious level, right? But literally, Earth, Terra, Gaia, is now back going into the harmonic universe number 2 position, which is dimensions 4, 5, and 6. So we're in the fourth dimension now. And some of us are actually in the fifth dimension consciously, vibrationally right now as well. So rightfully so, because this is where we're going. This is where we're going. And what I wanted to talk about a little bit tonight was, this is the end time prophecy that we're talking about here. I put together some notes that I thought was going to be kind of interesting. So just collecting my thought real quick. My apologies.
That's okay. Take your time.
So end time prophecies. Go ahead.
Yeah,
so
go ahead.
End time prophecies, like we're all. Yeah, go ahead, dear.
Just take your time. You're just having coffee with family, so it's all good.
And I think there's like a backlag or something.
We're all living.
Yeah, there's a backlag happening.
Now, let me know if you need to leave, Candy, before, I get too deep here. Okay. So, this end time prophecy, as stated like in the book of Revelation, we definitely are seeing events that are happening right now, fulfillment of prophecy. But to understand prophecy is another thing. Prophecy is duality. It's multidimensional in purpose and in meaning. It's never singular. Often when you look at prophecy and prophecy events being fulfilled, there is duality there. It usually has multiple meanings behind it. It's not always so black and white, shall we say. It's sometimes white and black. We're thinking mirror all the time, right? So, the original text says, we're at the end of this cycle, which is now, this, where gods and these goddesses would emerge. Well, this is part of this esoteric meaning of the second coming. That's us. The second coming is the activation of the collective Christ mind, the Christ consciousness. That's what the second coming of Christ means. It didn't say the second coming of Jesus. If you go in your scriptures, it says the second coming of Christ. When you understand Christ, Christ is a race. It's called the Christos race, the Christos race. which are divine higher beings. They're like in the 12th dimension, if I remember right. All right. They're part of the creator race. So a Christ isn't a singular person at a singular event or a singular point in time. We've had multiple Christs in our timelines. We have Christ here, plurality, right now. Tesla was a Christ. FYI, for those that don't know, Tesla was a Christ. So when the Christ, as we go back in the Bible, the Jesus, the Christ, will reference Jesus because that's who people are acquainted with, even though that name didn't even actually come about till 450 years ago when the Jesuits created it. Yeshua was his real name. So when the Christ was ministering to man, right, he said, they'd say, Master, how shall we know when you're going to return? What shall we look for? What are the signs? And he said, these things shall come to pass in your days. I will return in your days. You will live to see me return in your time. So he already told them. It's not going to happen 2,000 years from now, which is what our religious teachers teach us. 2,000 years from now, Jesus will return. This big event will happen, bada bing, bada boom. That's not correct at all. He actually said, you shall see these things come to pass in your time. So the Christ returned within 30 to 60 years after he ascended, okay? And we had a civilization here for almost 900 years. That was considered the millennial reign of the Christ. It's the Tartarians, the great civilization of the Tartarians. The Tartarians were higher spiritual beings who actually existed within the 5th and 6th dimension from a conscious and spiritual level. The Tartarians built these magnificent cities and these magnificent buildings, and they harnessed the ethereal life force energy of the earth, Terra, Gaia, to operate this free energy that we keep talking about. It's real, right? And we're expecting that to be given or released, the technology of free energy, so we're not dependent upon governments of the world who actually manipulate our energies and stuff like that, right?
Yep.
So this great civilization, they were here for 900 years, guys. And then something happened. In the 1820s, all of a sudden, this civilization, the Tartarians, they just vanished, like in thin air, literally. So we have buildings and structures all over the world that are proven that they were here at one point in time. Because even with today's technology, we can't even replicate, duplicate a lot of those engineering, architectural feats today that was done so long ago. So people ask me all the time, ML, well, then what happened to the Tartarians? Well, here's my theory on what happened with the Tartarians. See, the Tartarians were the people of heaven on earth during the millennial reign of Christ. All right. There's also, remember, prophecy has duality. So part of the prophecy is Christ would return and reign on earth for 1,000 years. It's called, right? But there's another part of that prophecy that said after the millennial reign, the serpent, i.e. Lucifer, would be let loose for a time and a season. Well, a time and a season is approximately 200 to 250 years. So, go a little bit farther back. You guys are familiar with the fallen angels, right? The hypothesis of the fallen angels, the watchers as they call them.
Yes, I've heard of them. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Genesis 6, the fallen angels, the sons of God, which are the fallen angels, which are the Anunnaki, all right? That's who they are, is the Anunnaki. So the fallen angels were bound up and imprisoned, and you have to study the books of Enoch and several of the other lost books of the Bible that aren't in the current Bible that we have to find out the history of what happened to those fallen angels. But those fallen angels were imprisoned for 66, oh, lost my train of thought, I'm sorry. generations. So they were imprisoned for 66 generations, and then they'd be let loose. They'd be unbound. Okay? Well, 66 generations from when they were in prison comes out to right around the 1740s. 1740s. So my hypothesis is if the fallen angels who worked alongside Lucifer were allowed to come back unimprisoned around the 1740s, well, when did the Illuminati come into existence over in Europe? During the mid 1700s, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
And then in 1776, the Illuminati made its way over here to the United States, to the founding fathers as well in 1776. And during that time period, the Illuminati, they took over all of the Masonic lodges at that time. And they became Luciferian Masonic lodges as well. So, during that time period, evil was unleashed on earth. So, not too many years after that period happening, the Tartarians disappeared. So, some type of an evil event, whether it was a spell, something altered a timeline in an instant where the Tartarians were either vaporized. And if you guys remember the Marvels movie where Thanos at the end, he has the glove that's got the jewels on, and then all the good guys, they end up, disintegrating, vaporizing into thin air, right?
He got rid of half.
Well, that's the same concept. That's right. He got rid of half of them. And so they just vaporized. They disappeared. It's the same thing, like with the Twin Towers that we believe potentially happened with the Twin Towers. High energy weapons were utilized and they were pulverized, vaporized as well. Okay. So that technology and that ability has been around for a long time. If you're dealing with a group of evil entities that know how to control timelines and have done it for a long time, then you better know that they know how to set a timeline in place and eradicate a civilization of people and reset civilization, because the Tartarians disappeared in the 1820s. Well, how did the world get repopulated so quickly? Because just about 30 to 40 years later, there was another event called the orphan trains. They show up, and hundreds of thousands of infant and children all over America and Europe show up randomly on these trains, and they're being dumped off on all these towns and these cities to repopulate these areas where the Tartarians had strongholds at as well. Where did those children come from all of a sudden? Well, there's speculation that those children came up out of the earth. They were in the earth, is what they say, and these children were brought forth to repopulate the area. It's part of the Great Reset that took place. So every time the word reset happens, it has a negative impact on humanity. It doesn't ever benefit us. It just doesn't ever benefit us. It's always a bad thing. So this is the great thing that took place. So now we're at the tail end of the 250-year reign of the Dark Ones, the evil entities itself. We're at the very tail end. And this is why we're starting to see time speed up. We're starting to see the emergence and convergence of timelines happening, which hasn't really happened before as well. We're starting to see the heavenlies, changes happening in the heavenlies. Some of us, it's a visual thing. Some of us, we're not seeing it, and some of us are seeing it. Everything that's going on around us, there are changes that are definitely happening. And that's because time is speeding up. It has to. This is what is part of this time period of going into Ascension itself. And so, the Christ mind is the unity consciousness. That's what we're all experiencing. And I guess the Galactics, they call this the great cosmic resuming, I guess, if you will. It's this jubilee called the Ascension, where Earth will become this new hub of the multiverse that we're a part of, and we're going to become like the new kingdom of heaven, of light, heaven on earth. It's what we're going to be manifesting. And so this is what we're in right now. This is all part of the Great Awakening, the true awakening that is actually happening for people right now.
That is freaking awesome.
Well, it absolutely is freaking awesome because we literally have angels, which are divine beings that are assisting us in every possible way to ensure that we make this ascension itself. We're not in this alone at all. And so when we go back to Trump's last couple speeches, right? We've seen some different things happen that hasn't happened before in his previous speeches. You know, the speech in general is fairly the same as all the other ones, except towards the end of the programs, he has thrown some audibles in there for us, right? And these audibles are codes. He is letting us know that there are things that are happening. Mm-hmm. These are confirmations that we've been waiting for the last couple of years that things are happening. Because I know people are burnt out. They're like, I don't see anything going on. I need confirmation. I need this before I'm going. Great. I get it. I understand it. Things are now happening for sure. Especially that last one that he did with the flag. Everybody saw that. When you have a flag that has blacked out stars, because the stars represent what? Each state in our country, right? That's what the stars represent. When the stars are blacked out, that's not a good thing. That's definitely not a good thing. That's letting the deep state know they're no longer part of the deep state program anymore. We're taking over, and either you guys surrender to us or be annihilated. I've shortened it, but that's pretty much what the flag means, is either you surrender or you're going to be decimated. No ifs, ands, buts about it. I mean, what are you guys' thoughts on this?
Well, that's what I saw on a TikTok, that somebody asked that same question about the stars, because people were like, what about the stars? What about the stars? We see the stars, there's no stars, they're all blacked out stars. What does that mean? Well, somebody said, you have to ask somebody in the military. And there was somebody that stood up and wrote something from the military, or somebody in the military that wrote it, saying that this message was for the deep state, that if you do not surrender, you will be completely annihilated. I'm like, oh, shit. So I saved that video as well, and I also took a screenshot of it, and I'm going to make a video of it. So it's... yeah, so this is going to be... It's wonderful times. It is wonderful times.
This is a good time for me to...
It is.
This is a good time for me to share the download that I got, or at least part of the download that I got. And that was, you were talking about we've entered into the fourth dimension. We've also entered into a quantum shift. Mm-hmm. And this quantum shift is manifesting things super fast. And so what is required of us, if we do not want to suffer, is to keep our thoughts clear. If someone is bringing chaotic thoughts, chaotic emotions, and that could be anger, it could be frustration, it could be all sorts of things, make sure you do not attach to it. Make sure you stay in the neutral place. And if you have to remove yourself from that situation, then do so. Because when you attach, if you attach, you are going to be bringing to you chaos, pain, suffering. And that's going to affect your whole physical, mental, spiritual being. So I was being shown by my team that it is just so important right now to stay completely aware and in neutrality because of where we are at.
We're kind of like those Amazon people on TikTok. We buy it so you don't have to, right? Well, we go into the different dimensions and try these out so you don't have to, because we suffer for you. So just don't do it. It sucks.
Yeah, so do you guys remember that we've been going through some stuff, and some of it has been clearing, some of it has been upgrading, but some of it has been what I just talked about, that this quantum energetic field that we're in, it has destabilized all of us. Now we have to find our footing again. And so this destabilization also destabilized our emotions, and we've just sort of been like driving braille while blind. You're driving while blind.
And deaf.
And you're
And senseless.
listening to the dots. It's just going back and forth and staying in one lane.
Feeling the dots.
Feeling the dots.
We're deaf and blind.
So some of it has been of our own making, and that became very, very clear yesterday as they were showing me this. And so, just like kids said, we suffered for you, don't do it for yourself. Just get into neutrality and move forward with that.
Just once you start seeing it, just start screaming, boss man. Because that's when you know a test is coming. That's when you know something's in front of you that you need to just, get back into that neutrality. Yeah. It's like that negativity is just boss in that boss room, and you're at that boss door, and all you have to do is just open it up and defeat the boss. But if you just, focus upon, oh my God, he's going to kill me, well, that's what's going to happen. So,
when Kid was little, he came up to me and he says, Mom, my ear hurts. And I think he was 3. So his conception of an earache was, I said, why do you think it hurts? He goes, well, a bug must have gotten in there and bit me.
A bug crawled in my ear and bit me.
Yeah, so his conception of just there being a bacterial infection was not there. And sometimes that's what we do when we're trying to understand what's going on in our life and what's happening and why are we hurting. And so that was part of the Asaya too. It wasn't completely the detox. The Asaya has actually it's been detoxing, but it's been helping us to move into this quantum energetic field in a faster way. And with everything being destabilized, we didn't realize that we were trying to find our footing and we were driving braille.
While deaf and blind.
So here we are with this new understanding, and we just wanted to share that with you. Pretty incredible.
Because we're paving the way for everybody else, so you don't have to try it. You can just follow our road. It's okay. Yeah. We got you.
It's kind of like watching your big sister or big brother get in trouble and thinking, "Oh, I don't want to do that. I don't want to get in trouble and do that."
It's literally a pain in both of our asses right now. Oh, literally. Physically.
Okay, so this is the second comment that has been made for Candy. So let me just explain what's been going on. Because we all have it, we all do it. I was just constipated, and then it was like,
here we go.
Yeah, you started it, don't you even? So I was a little constipated, and then it was like the plug was removed, and now it's just all liquid.
Mudslide.
Right?
Whee!
So yeah, little sore here and crampy.
But
And that's what she meant when Guys, if I gotta go, I gotta go. Because mudslides do not wait for anybody.
Right? No, they don't. Don't think you have a fart either.
Those are called shirts.
They're called what?
Shirts. It's where you think it's a fart, but it's a shit, and it's a shart. So you're like, oh God, I got a fart. Oh God, that's no fart. Now I gotta go take a shower, guys. It's called a shart.
A shart. Glad to know that. Well, family knows it all, don't they?
I'm just letting you guys know that we've got we have a major thunderstorm happening right now, and on my end, I don't know if you can see it, but on my end, I'm getting my network and stuff like that is like
we see it
not doing so well right now. So I'm just letting you guys know there. Yeah, I may end up losing you here, so I'm just giving you guys a heads up.
Okay. Well,
That or the other guys, they don't like me sometimes. For some reason, it seems like anytime I try and do a show, it's just they don't like me. They like to interfere.
right.
So
They
my
do.
apologies.
They do. So you want to get into what you were sharing with us about your Palladian friends and the message that you got?
Yeah. Yeah.
Quick, before you
Well,
disappear.
it's like, all right, so, this fourth dimension that we're now into, they refer to it as like the Rainbow Bridge. Okay. And what's that?
Oh, we didn't say anything. It's just backlag.
No, okay. Okay. So, like I said, people, they're experiencing these headaches, they're dizzy, or they're ringing ears. Well, these are symptoms because the Schumann resonance, right? It's changing literally from 7.83 to what is currently 8.16, and it's changing more. We're actually headed to a frequency of 8.88. Well, that's a heavenly number right there because 8s are archangel numbers, just so you guys know. And this means we're moving into the Lion's constellation, guys. This is known as the God frequency. This is where we want to be at. This is part of the ascension. This is more proof and evidence that we're going. We're ascending, not descending, but we're ascending, right? So this is where we want to be at. Absolutely. And, in the beginning, God said what? He said, let there be light, right? But he also said, let us, that's plural, us is plural, make man in our, that's plural, own image. So God gave us two important things in the very beginning, in the book, in Genesis. Let there be light, that's us, we're the light. All right, we're what is called monads. Monads is light. It's light. It's infinite light. We're infinite. So let us make man in our own image. Well, that's interesting. When you break down hue, man, hue means form of light. Man means to manifest. So hue, man, is form of light manifested in the body. It's amazing, right? And so this is why we're feeling the things that we're feeling right now. We're so in tune with everything that's happening in the heavenlies that, the detox sensation that you guys are feeling, Candy, you're right. It's even more important that I had to learn this the hard way. So I'm one of those people where I give people hugs. I'm affectionate towards people to show them, my gratitude or my love for people. But I had to learn to not do that because I didn't know until now, a couple of years ago, I found out that you take upon that person's negative energy. if they have dark energies, demonic energies, anything of that nature, it transfers, it sheds. We hear this word shedding, right? So it sheds onto you as well. So I've had to learn to restrict myself from engaging with people in physical contact unless I know somebody really well and I know them at a lovingly level. So I know that their light is always high, their vibration, their frequencies are always high, that they don't engage in certain activities that would allow darkness into them. I don't allow myself to do that anymore. And that's because these dark parasites, they shed and they look for other hosts over and over and over again, right? So this is kind of what you were alluding to earlier as well, when we're feeling this way. So a long time ago, these fallen angels, they were originally called the Watchers. They were sent here to watch over us, humans. We are the humans. And here's a news flash, guys. We are the earthly Elohim, the Elohim, and people have a hard time accepting the fact that they're divine persons, that they're divine beings with a divine destiny. They have a hard time accepting that because religion has pounded into our heads that that we're not even worthy to be with God, that we're sinners from the time we're born to the time we die, and that hell was created to separate us from our God. Well, that was a concept not given to us by God, source, prime creator. That was given to us by a different God, Yahweh of Satan, Marduk, whatever you want to call him. But that's not a good God. So anyways, that has manipulated and retarded our thinking all this time of our divineness and who we really are. So here's something that's kind of interesting. So the moon, have you guys noticed yourself any changes, let's say, I'll say like in the last year as it relates to the moon at all?
Any changes in our physical form, or what do you mean? Or do we notice different things about the moon?
Well, yeah, I mean, have you physically seen change?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
How it starts from the left to the right, from the right to the left, from forward, backwards,
with
all
your
over the
eyes,
place.
differences in the moon and its appearance and everything?
Yes, it goes really
There
bright.
you go.
It goes
So it's
dim. It
actually
disappears.
Okay. And there's a reason for that. So I know it's my network.
That's okay.
Guys.
And I think Arlene means clouds behind the moon.
I've seen that
We've
too.
seen that before as well.
I've seen clouds behind the sun.
Well, now we're starting to see the sun and the moon at the same time during the daytime at the same height with each other, parallel to each other.
You know,
but it's okay. It's not a bad thing. The moon was actually part of the Palladian system to help our Earth. All right. The 3D was actually controlled from the Palladian matrix that programmed into this ship, if you will, that we're on, this Earth. So the Dracos, they took our planet over from the Anunnaki and the Pleiadians, and they also took over the moon. The moon is like a command center, if you will. All right. So, and from there, they are able to affect things on this planet. See, the Zeta were actually behind this invasion that incurred upon us a long time ago. And they were the ones that actually first enslaved the earthly Elohim. That's us, humans. Again, we're divine, all right? The Zeta then chased off the Pleiadians and the Anunnaki and the godly beings in this war that took place many millennia ago. Now, this isn't in your Bible, of course, but it is in other scriptures or holy written books that used to be part of the Holy Canon itself. So the moon was actually conquered, and then it was actually used as a weapon against the earthly Elohim, us humans. All right. This was about 26,000 years ago. This is when the fall of Atlantis, which you guys are familiar with, the fall of Atlantis was the last great civilization 26,000 years ago. Well, that was because of things that happened with the moon itself. So the moon was set to control the ocean's currents, our weather modifications, and the protection for humans. That's what it was there for us itself. But it was also developed as a soul, I guess, had something to do to control our souls, if you will. And that's why the Palladians tell us now that the reincarnation that has taken place with our souls, that is no longer active. That closed down, I think in 2019 is what I was told, that as it relates to the moon, assisting in the reincarnation life cycles that we go through, that program had been shut down in 2019 itself. So that doesn't happen anymore because, again, we're at the tail end of this thing going into the Ascension. So it's not required, I guess, is the best way of saying it. It's not required. So the creators of the moon, they started appearing about 13,000 years ago when the Zetas actually started using nuclear energy weapons on it. That's those massive craters that you see in the moon. That is from the Zetas utilizing nuclear technology. Again, the Zetas and the Dracos, they love their nuclear technology. It was never meant as a weapon. It was only meant as a sustainable energy force. That's how a lot of these entities are able to travel throughout space and be able to go through time and everything else like that. So it's always meant for that. So that energy that was going off on the moon, it started killing off our trees, and it made our lush lands actually into deserts here on this planet. That's how it affected us. The stuff that was taking place there started affecting us here on our planet itself. Okay, it had that ripple effect. So it also caused medical conditions, and this is which the Zeta, they took advantage of this. So they actually they're the ones that started influencing like the Rockefellers. Most people don't know the history of Western medicine. Really, where it got its big push comes from the Rockefellers, and the Rockefellers are connected to who? They're part of the 13 bloodline Illuminati families. I mean, it goes so deep. This rabbit hole goes so deep, so very deep. And so this was part of the Zeta's plans to take us over. And the Palladians, well, they were planning on teaching us more about this history as they removed this stuff. And this is where some of the Palladians that I've come in contact with talk about what happens on the moon, that anything and everything on this planet that happens is recorded and stored there on the moon itself. The secret space program, Solar Warden, any secret space program soldiers, they know about this as well, how important the moon is, and that the wars that have been fought over the moon, per se, because it's very viable for us humans here itself. So isn't it interesting that many of the nuclear reactors that are on this planet, these nuclear power plants, they exist on ley lines of our planet? Well, for a reason, right? Ley lines are very important to us. That's our life force in our planet as well. So I just think that's fascinating. Like the Hoover Dam, it has a nuclear power plant. The Three Gorges Dam in China, it's a nuclear power plant. Ukraine, the fighting that's going on over there. I mean, they're trying to blow up that nuclear power plant. The Ukrainians are, but we know who the Ukrainians are being backed by. They are being backed by the dark. They're the last remnants of these dark entities before they're finally eliminated, off of this planet itself. Isn't it interesting that Putin comes out yesterday, Putin, and he has a rally, I guess, not a rally, he has a press conference, if you will. And he's basically warning the United States and putting the rest of the world, especially the NATO countries, on notice that you guys better stop what you're doing, or he's going to be forced to have to make a decision that could utilize, again, nuclear weapons. Now, those of us in the Truther movement, right, we believe that that's just part of the buildup that's supposed to happen, because Juan told us for 2 years that there's going to be a scare event, a nuclear threat scare event that's supposed to happen that will culminate the final, curtain before everything happens. I mean, am I off on that? Is that what you guys have heard as well?
I've heard that.
I've heard that as well, and now
Mr. Truthbomb said that also.
Biden was also just came out saying, you can't win nuclear wars. We shouldn't be fighting nuclear wars. Now he's trying to, get that out of there because he's supporting the Ukrainians. Deep state motherfucker.
So, ML, would you say that the moon is a megastructure?
Yeah.
Okay, so there is...
What's that?
Would you say that the moon is a megastructure?
It's from my understanding, it's like a command structure. Yeah, it's a mega structure, absolutely, and it's hollow inside, but it's like from what I've been told, it's comparable to. I hate using these movie metaphors, but something like the Death Star type of thing, where it's a command center itself. And speaking of movie metaphors, in this Truth movement, oftentimes we talk about we're in a movie, right? We're in a movie. We're all playing a role in this movie, and we're in the final scenes of this grandiose movie that we're in. Isn't it interesting? There are 3 shows that I've just seen advertised on YouTube. One, there's a new DC comic movie coming out with The Rock on it. Dwayne The Rock Johnson, he's the lead character in this movie. It's called Dark Adam, where he plays a god, but he's a villain god nonetheless. And so instead of focusing on a superhero in this one, they're focusing on a super villain who happens to be a god named Dark Adam. Now that's interesting. Here we are in the last days. We're talking about Adam, at the beginning. I mean, it's just crazy. There's another show, TV show called Quantum Leap. They're remaking Quantum Leap into a new TV series. So we're talking about quantum timelines. Quantum Leap's all about quantum timelines, okay? There's another show on, there's another show with Reba McEntire where it's focused on these people who disappear in these national parks, like in Yellowstone and out west. It's actually a TV series, I guess. And I'm like, well, now that's really interesting. So whatever's in the headlines of alternative, truther world, it's what is in these movies and in these TV shows now. So art really does imitate life, right?
There's also a movie on Netflix, and it's called Moonfall. And they actually discover that the moon is a megastructure. It has a dwarf sun, and it was used by the starseeds for the Earth. It was part of planting the people here on the Earth and keeping up with them. So that's a very interesting movie.
I've actually heard that.
That's a very interesting movie.
I've actually heard that.
You guys should check it out because I really believe it's a white hat movie.
It was to save the human species, actually. To preserve human life, because they were being taken over by none other than AI.
AI. Mm-hmm.
AI grew a conscience that decided that humans are a threat, so they were going to destroy all humans, and they used this mega structure to keep the humans alive, to keep them hidden over there and here on Earth. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's exactly, that's another rabbit hole that I know is a fact, that we're dealing with a dark AI. And this dark AI has been in the cosmos for a long, long time, since the beginning of time almost, this dark AI. And I know there was a period that happened where a group of Elohim and higher creator races tried to take on this AI, dark forces, if you will. So this AI comes out of the Orion Belt. This is where the dark ETs, if you will, that's where they come from, is the Orion Belt. This AI comes from there. And that's where Lucifer comes from as well. And so this AI has been destroying planets. There was a planet that was actually, Mars was a moon of another planet. And this other planet was where the Anunnaki resided at. It was destroyed. It was destroyed. It was blown up and obliterated. And some of the Anunnaki that survived that, left before that took place itself. And then they relocated onto one of the moons, which is Mars. And then they also came here as well. But those were the negative, those were the dark Anunnaki, not the good ones itself. So yeah, there is a lot of truth out there into this AI. And this is what we're fighting with here on this earth now, is the AI technology.
Maybe it's
this is what we've been combating, and this is how it's been controlling and manipulating our timelines. And the events within these timelines is through this AI, dark energy forces, its will, It's really interesting, the Palladians and these archangels, I'm pretty confident they've won this war against the Cabal. I'm pretty confident that's happened. From my understanding, the individual or the entities, as we call them, Lucifer, Satan, called the Dark Prince, they're not here anymore. They've been banished and they've been sent back to their dimensions and to the system in which they came from. They're not here anymore. So what we're dealing with right now is like mid-management of the Cabal that are trying to carry out what the upper management was trying to do. And so they're trying, but they're not working out very well. I mean, here's evidence of it. You have the Queen Lizard who just died, right? And so her son Chuck, who's supposed to be the king, Chuck the Third, well, Chuck doesn't look so good because Chuck didn't get a ceremony, a regalia ceremony to be king. None of that happened. None of that fanfare took place. He signed some paperwork, which nobody knows what he really signed, that made him the king. But by bloodline, he's not even her son, just so you guys know. By bloodline, he is not even in part of the lineage to inherit the throne. That's why once she died, it disbanded the bar system, admiralty law, all these things have been affected by the crown, right, dying. She was the one that had to go, which was supposed to set off these other events for the White Hats to take more control over certain things as well.
So a lot of things that is happening at this moment, like what you were describing in the very beginning, how we're going into the higher dimensions, that we're going into the higher frequencies, right? This world is going into the this world is now in the fourth dimension, and we're starting to go higher. That's just exactly like what Jason Q has been saying, how we are like the movie the Valerian and the City of 1,000 Planets. That's what we're going to become. That's the start, where we are going to have over 900 million different species on this planet, all working together as one, coming together, sharing technology, being together, being who we need to be. And I believe that we are going to be the start of that, because we are learning that connection, that family, that acceptance. And everybody is going to want a piece of that. What's that?
Yeah. Well,
I wasn't gone long enough for that. I thought I was going to sneeze.
No. Oh, you're right, kid. Someday, in the not too distant future, we're going to be able to look up above, and we're going to be able to see all the activity with our eyes. The veil, we talk about the veil will be pulled back, so to speak. We'll be able to see what's been kept from us, what's been hidden from our consciousness itself. And for some of us, I'm excited as all hell. I'm giddy. I'm up throughout the night, every night, and I go outside a lot of the times, and I'm looking up into the stars. I watch all the activity. I have a hellacious amount of activity in my sky all the time. So I'm always saying hello to my friends as they're going by. And I'm always communicating, talking with them, and I just can't wait for the day where those things really take place, where, the only time you get to see them is at night, where we'll actually be able to engage with them like we are right here, right now, and, that's why, I think a lot of us kind of feel like we're out of sorts here, possibly, because in this great awakening, true awakening experiences we're going through, we feel like we kind of don't belong here in the sense. We know we belong, in a greater, a larger family, if you will, right? And that's true to a degree. We do. We belong to a soul family. We're all here part of a soul family. We're actually, we're connected to a group, a soul group within this family itself, and that's part of all of our experiences in mortality, is trying to connect and find those individuals at that soul level. That's why we hear the term soulmate, right? Or soul brother, soul sister, soul whatever. We're fortunate enough to come across some of those individuals in each of our lifetimes. And so, I can't imagine what it would be like, I'm just one of those adventurous types. So, I'm always joking about, I couldn't wait to, jump on a ship and, let's go. I have no trepidation whatsoever, of being able to engage our Galactic Guardians as well. And they know that. They sense those things. And so that's why more people, I get people that DM me or send me emails, and they tell me some of their very personal experiences, that they're starting to have communications more frequently with some of our, Galactic Guardians, if you will. That's because our hearts are changing. We're prepared. We're ready. We're not, we're not living in fear anymore, right? We're living in open inclusiveness now.
Very true. What?
She's looking like she's about ready to explode. She's trying to hold that sneeze in. Or hopefully that's a sneeze that she's trying to hold in.
Right?
You're so funny. So, some interesting comments, and I'm going to take it a little bit of a different direction than what you've been talking. Mickey says, wait, where is it? Okay, so she's sharing another Asaya testimony. Her dad smokes a pack a day, and he hasn't asked for a pack in 3 days since being on the Asaya.
Wow.
Something new is so amazing.
Wow, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm. That's huge if they're not even thinking about it.
That is.
And you know, I haven't went to go get vape stuff in about 4 weeks.
Has it been that long?
It's been about that long. And
So
usually I go every 2 weeks.
So you're smoking less?
I'm smoking less. Even though it feels like I'm smoking more, but that's just a mind fuck.
So your lungs thank you. Thanks to say it too.
So it's...
Oh my God.
It's
JP.
awesome.
JP says, it's a no sharding zone. Laugh out loud. Okay, so I am placing the link if you'd like to get more information on the Asaya. If you do the link, please send your phone number and they will schedule a call with you. They get a lot of
You're
contact
using
me's.
the link that doesn't work.
Seriously?
Yes.
I just fixed it.
And take a look at it. It's not working.
Nah.
Because there's probably like a space or something at the end or whatever, or
something. Okay.
you need to fix that little thing that you have
What's a little thing?
in your
Oh, I did fix
clipboard.
it. Yeah.
Or you need to replace it completely. Go to the website,
I got
grab
it.
the link, and then replace that link with the other link so it overrides that link so you can keep.
Interesting that you think you have to talk to me like I don't understand English. I got it.
Okay.
Thank you.
But you act like you didn't get
don't
it.
go
Isn't
there.
it funny when isn't it funny when you're speaking to a foreigner and you gotta yell, "Do you understand English?" You know, you gotta yell at them.
Hello.
You enunciate really, and they're like, "See." And they're thinking, "What a dumbass! I hear you. Why are you yelling at me?" You know? But that's what we do all the time. That's
All
what
the
we do.
time.
Oh, speaking of which, all right. So here's a public service announcement.
That one's not working either.
So on our border, we've known that we have issues on the southern and northern border. We're being infiltrated like crazy in our country. The Biden administration claims something like 3 million people have come in since he's been, whatever he is, has come into this country. So what information I've received from friends in the ATF, and I won't claim my friends in the FBI because, that's not good. But anyways, the FBI and the ATF have had to go to a lot of the cities in the southern states on the border and the gun shows that have been going on in some of these cities, and they've had to warn the gun show personnel who are, doing the gun shows and selling at the gun shows itself. They're warning them because what they have discovered is, especially on the southern border, they have found Russian males that are military trained. From what they're saying, they're probably Spetsnaz, which is special forces, Russians, and the Chinese, the Chicoms, they have discovered that these Russians and Tricoms that are crossing the southern border are going to gun shows and purchasing high capacity clips and ammo and other items as well. Because at gun shows, you can pretty much purchase, whatever you want without much background check on those things whatsoever. You don't have to show identification for a lot of the stuff unless you're buying firearms from a federally licensed firearm dealer. But you can buy firearms from private citizens all day long at gun shows. And, so they're going around happening to monitor and warn at these events to be on the lookout because we have Russian military and Chinese military males that are going around buying these items at these gun shows. So, that's something to think about. At any given time, we have over 500,000 foreign troops, foreign assets inside the United States that are pretty much sleeper cells waiting for the thumbs up to go. So there's a public service announcement for those people down. They got people down in the southern cities. Be careful. Careful who you sell certain items to.
Right?
That's crazy.
Well, I hear that also the BLM movement and that other movement of people with the masks and everything are getting ready again. I forgot what the other movement, not BLM, but the other ones that are, going and destroying shit and calling themselves, patriots. Antifa, there you go.
Oh, and then there's Candy's BM movement, too.
That's the BRB movement. Be right back. I gotta poop.
That is so funny. Right?
Mine's the LMA. Leave me alone.
Okay. See if that one works.
Let's take a look. Does it work? Yep. Your link finally works.
Oh my god.
Nice.
I don't know why that stops working. I went and got it from the description.
Did you post it in your clipboard so you can always have that one? For some reason, the one that you saved, it just doesn't work at all. It just doesn't.
I'm going to do that right now.
It's like it just completely sucks. Uh-oh, did we lose ML?
Or we scared him away.
No. No, you're good.
So it's wonderful to have so many family members with us today, and as you can see, we are changing all of these negative energies into higher vibrating, having fun, not taking it personal, and just going with the flow. And this is how
That's right.
we start standing in our power of going back into the neutrality of knowing that everybody is on their own path. And yes, we're all feeling these energies. But when you take it personal, when you are the one that takes it personal, the other person takes it personal, which then spreads it like wildfire. And then we're all in the BRB movement of, I need to go mudsliding. Because that's what happens is when you feel like shit, everybody else feels like shit. And if you take on that shit, well then, everybody else is going to be spying with you. So...
Ow!
You okay?
Oh, I did it again. I hit my shin. Oh.
What flyby thought did you have? Shit, kid.
Oh,
you suck.
I probably had a few.
See? See? I got you. Mine's coming in a little bit, so it's okay.
We just need to get a flosser and just pick out those things very quickly.
I wish that we could just stop all those flyby thoughts, those negative thoughts that just, come into our experience without us even knowing they're coming in. See? We do it so you don't have to. Oh. And there's a lot of people out there that have these shows that do not show these type of things. And this is what everybody needs to see, is the realness, the rawness, the openness, and the mudslides. Because
JP just said, thanks to Kid, no one will ever order a mudslide at the bar again.
Good. Applebee's sucks.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
It's becoming a real shit show, isn't it?
We do it so you don't have to.
So I wanted to share something, an update about our dog. Beautiful things happening. There's a lot of retrospect now, because I can look back and see what I didn't know and what I didn't understand. And now that things are working out the way they are, have an understanding of it. And one of the things that was beginning to happen with our dog was her skin on her belly started to get black. And that happened with our male too, the one we lost. And we thought, what is that? And we didn't know. Now his smelled, but hers didn't. And so we knew his was a problem, but we didn't understand why she had the same type of effect, but it didn't smell. And so what were we smelling something different than what there was? So as you guys know, I changed her diet. I completely took her off kibble, and now she's eating homemade foods, and been putting Asea in her food. Sometimes we put it directly in her mouth, and we always put it in the water for all the animals. And the lumps went away. Her fur went from coarse to just so soft and silky. And I was talking to my husband last week, and he was mentioning how beautiful she feels. And I said, do you remember when her hair was coarse? And he said, yeah. And I said, all of that changed with the Asea. He said, yeah. And I said, did you know that the internal health of our body is reflected in the hair? And he said, no, he didn't.
Which means I have no health.
So just recently, I noticed that the black stuff on her belly is disappearing and pink is coming back. That just floored me. And so with retrospect, that told me her health indication of what was happening there. And so it is super exciting. People are saying, well, could Asea be a, what do you call that?
Placebo?
Yes. Thank you. A placebo effect. Well, animals don't understand placebo effects at all. And so what's happening is so incredible. Right. Her energy is different. She's following my husband around everywhere like a puppy. I have not seen puppiness in her in a while, and it's just, it keeps getting better and better and better every single day.
Well, when we first got her, she was a brute. A loving, hitting, biting, nipping brute. Now she's like very calm. Very calm. And she's a full-bred Malinois. And we all know the Malingators, okay? They are not calm. She's very calm now. So there was something mentally or something going on within the body that was causing that mental aptitude of the Malingators.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, it's just incredible. So someone's asking what I put in the food. So I boil brown rice, a small yam or sweet potato, I believe. Broccoli, carrots, and that's it.
No beets?
No.
Oh.
So I just boil all of that, and then... Oop, there he goes.
Yeah.
And then he'll be back if he can. I add... after it's all cooked and I mash it, I add vitamin E, vitamin D, something for gut health, like probiotics, some greens. It's just a canister you can get on Amazon that has a bunch of greens in it. That's something healthy for us to take, and so I add some of that. Alfalfa. I opened up some capsules of alfalfa. I also put magnesium. It starts with an L hyphen and then something else. So I put a few of those capsules in. And I can't remember the green stuff. It's some sort of algae, but I can't remember which one. And I put that in there too. And that's basically what I do. No, Melissa, I have not posted this diet, but the book. Let me see. Oh, hang on a sec.
Why haven't you posted the diet yet?
I just haven't been on the website.
Ah.
We've been going through too much shit.
Bio says L-theanine or Diane Casey saying L-glutathione? Glutathione? Oh, there's way too many L hyphen whatever else's.
I don't know where my book is.
No. Well, we can make a whole nother video when we make the dog food. And then we could post that and everyone get the recipe from that as well. See how we do it. It's a process.
Okay. Yeah, I have to find it. How? Yeah, pretty incredible. There's a book I picked up, I ordered, and it had the diet in there. And she prefers it when after the food is done. So she prefers it when we do not add chicken. So what we do is we take out the rice, vegetable mixture, we add it to a bowl, and then we might add chicken to it, and then the medicine and all of her treats in there. But she prefers us not to add the chicken. So there are certain treats that we get at Costco. Like one is liver, and it's 100% pure liver. It's, cold processed, the liver. And then the other is a duck treat. And we just break it apart and add it in there so she gets her protein, and she just absolutely loves it.
Adores those things. But when it comes to like ham, she puts her nose on it just to sniff it. Of course, she has to fucking touch it with her nose and then pulls away like, I don't want that. just sniff it from away so you don't have to touch it. No, she has to touch it with her nose.
Yes. We're not giving her ham anymore because that's got a lot of preservatives and salts and stuff that she doesn't need. And
not only that, but the information that has been coming out, what they've been feeding the pigs, is just disgusting. Grinding up plastics and bones and raw meats and whatever else that they can.
Pigs will eat anything.
Pigs will eat anything. And when they eat it, what goes into their bloodstream, what goes into their meats, what goes into us when we start eating them. So I'm like, you know what? No more ham for me. No more pig. Sorry. You love your bacon. I'm sorry.
That's been separating from me. I have not been happy with it lately.
Yeah, me either.
So, it's I'm noticing a natural change happening, which is very cool.
Yeah, we're just naturally going a different direction now from what we used to think was good for our bodies to what is good for our bodies now, which is great. I think our senses are becoming a lot like the dogs, because Hazel's senses have gone up to where she sniffs something, she's like, no, I'm not good with that one.
Everything's changed with her with the Asaya. Everything. Even the way she communicates with her face. She talks to us with her face. And that's different than the way she used to be. It was more instinctual in the things that she did. And now she is like awakened. An awakened being is so incredible.
Yeah, I heard that they were also genetically modified from humans as well. Cloned. And they just, yeah, that. I've heard of that as well. But they still eat everything. But I would like to go back into last week's show with Jason Q about how we talked about frequencies and vibrations. Oh, with Mickey. Yes, it was with Mickey, right? Mickey Klon? When we talked about frequencies and vibrations. Now, we were having a conversation with one of our family members, Diane, and she asked a question: how can you tell the difference between a frequency and a vibration? And is there any way that we can comprehend it in a way to understand the difference between a frequency and a vibration? Well, a frequency is something you cannot give somebody. A vibration is. So think of the vibration as the TWA, thoughts, words, and actions. Each one of those is a vibration because they create a vibration through what? A frequency. What is a frequency? Think of a frequency as a radio station. But if you were to establish it within the body, that would be an emotion, a feeling. Those are frequencies. You cannot give your emotions to somebody. You cannot give your feelings to somebody. They can feel your feelings. They can feel your emotions through the vibrations of the TWAs that you are giving from your body. You see how that is. So the frequencies is just a radio station. So when a healer comes up to you and says, I can change your frequency, you better back the fuck up and run away. Want to know why? Want to know why I say that? It's because it's very dangerous when you give somebody permission to change your frequency. Because if you forget to take that permission away, they can always change your frequency to how they want you to be. That's giving them a full access to everything that you are. Everything that makes you who you are. Never trust a healer that says, I can change your frequency. That is for you to change yourself. That is your emotions. That is your feelings. That is up to you to decide. So I'm just letting you know, If a healer ever tells you, I can change your frequency. Fuck no, you ain't. You can help me with my vibration, bitch, but with my frequency, you better back the fuck up. Because that's my life. That's who I am. That is my power. Love is another frequency. You can't give love to somebody, and if you do, it's the same thing as taking a Bible and going, may the God of Jesus be with you, and just slapping them across the face. So you use your TWA, the thoughts, the words, and the actions through the frequency of love to give that to that person, to give that person a choice to be on the same frequency as you are. So the frequency hertz of 482 or whatever those really good hertz for the bodies are, though that's a frequency. The vibration is the music. The frequency is the station. It's what they have tuned the vibration to. It's a tuning. It's basically a tuning fork. It brings the first step to healing. So when you tune yourself, you tune your feelings, your emotions, your love, and then you use your vibrations. So when we were talking about lowering your frequency and heightening your vibrations during that one call with Mickey Claude and Jason Q, lower your emotional, lower your feelings, heighten your love frequency, and then heighten your vibrational frequency through the love frequency. 432 is very healing. Thank you very much. And 528 hertz. Okay, yeah, thank you. You guys know the frequency numbers more than I do. I just, look up whatever works for me. But that is how you tune yourself, is by lowering your emotional, lowering your feelings, heightening your love frequency. Those 3 frequencies right there. Those 3 frequency radio stations within your body. And that's how you also get into that neutral standpoint. And then you use your vibrations in a higher aspect. And then you use the third part to the radio. You have the frequency, the vibration, and now it's time to tune the volume. How much do you want to give out? How much do you want to receive? You see, you have to be specific with what you desire. That's why they put numbers, 1 or 0 through 100 for the volume on a radio. How high do you want the volume? How low do you want that volume? You have to be specific, and it's all about setting your intentions with the words, your thoughts, and your actions of how you want that volume done after you've already tuned yourself to the right frequency to use the right vibrations, and then you start tuning the volume. How much do you want people to feel? How much do you want to receive?
I like what Kristen just said. Being triggered is actually good. It's like a way to clean the corners of your consciousness.
It's like, if you can't kill a cockroach in the corner with a cowboy boot, it ain't a cowboy boot.
Wow.
No.
Jane Faye says there's a show on YouTube TV. It's free. It's called Under the Dome. A whole town is trapped inside the dome. It's fascinating.
That's awesome.
It sounds like the Simpson video that I just caught on TikTok, where they made another prediction.
Oh.
That they find themselves in a dome.
So many predictions are happening with that. Soon Trump is going to be arrested. And when that happens, woohoo! Woo! Because we know something is going to happen right after that. Because if he gets arrested, he's most likely going to go under house arrest. And if he's under house arrest, he's being watched by the deep state, right? And that means that whatever happens after that, they cannot pin it upon Trump. Ha! Fuck you, bitches. We got you. Oh.
Yep, very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Just keep paying attention. Just keep paying attention.
Well, if you also think about going back to the Simpsons predictions, they predicted that Trump is going to die. I forgot how he dies. Something falls on him, or he falls downstairs and snaps his neck. I don't remember. Maybe it was a deep state alien guy that just falls on him and breaks his neck. I don't really remember. He just dies somehow in The Simpsons. So if he either gets arrested or he dies, it's great for us because then they can't pin anything else upon Trump anymore. Because he's either under house arrest or he's dead. But he's not really dead.
Dead but not really.
Dead but not really. They're just going to say he's dead.
So that just, that was interesting when ML brought up about there's a deep state Trump version.
Right?
Right? Mm-hmm.
The ones with the white circles around his eyes, the ones that's always promoting the
The V?
The V. Sorry.
The Jabberwocky.
Sorry, YouTube.
The Jabberwocky.
The Jabberwocky.
This poison apple.
Oh, there was something else. Does everyone here know that JB, Jelly Bean, are amazing, stairway falling, jibber jabber talking president?
Now I know what you're talking about. So I was like, where are you going with this?
Had a twin. Did you know that? His name is Beau Biden. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Joe Biden's granddaughter came out and told everybody everything. That he died 4 years ago. And he built up such a political standing that they didn't want to lose any political power, so they used his twin brother, Beau Biden. And that's who's in office right now. Right? Right? Beau Biden. It is so illegal what they have been doing, and yet they are doing their absolute best to sue Trump for being a billionaire, being worth billions of dollars, and saying it's against humanity. What the hell is going on? I swear. It's just making me laugh so much that they're trying their absolute best with everything. Yes, Beau was also his first son's name that died as well, yeah. Diane's like, fuck, I always refer to him as Beau Biden. Beau Biden. Beau Biden.
That's a good one.
Well, that was a saying right there. Beau Biden, meaning Beau Biden. Yeah. So
bougie.
Bougie. It's bougie. You bougie bitch. You yoga-loving bougie bitch, ankle tattoo-wearing slut.
Damn, I have a nut in my mouth. I couldn't laugh with my mouth open.
That was actually from a TV show. Your
memory is incredible.
I forgot the TV show. It's where the father is a drunk ass motherfucker, and the oldest daughter, is taking care of the whole family, and they have many different races for brothers and sisters, and I love that family. It's amazing. Some races girl was, mad and angry that some lemonade stand was out in front of her house, and she's like calling the police and this, that, and the other thing, and being all racist to that little boy. She comes over and beats the shit out of her, the older sister, calling her you bougie ass yoga loving, ankle tattoo wearing slut. That's my brother. Bougie. You bougie.
I got bougie from what Diane said.
Shameless.
So just B-O-J-I, bougie.
Shameless, yes. Thank you guys. Shameless. I love that part. And of course she gets arrested for beating up that bougie ankle yoga loving bitch.
So in case you guys didn't know, we have a Twitter account, we have a Twitch account. Just look up High Vibes Up. We're on Rumble.
And someone stole our TikTok High Vibes Up, so we can't use that there.
Yeah, so on TikTok it's HVU family. That's pretty loud, huh?
Yeah, well, she's in her car blasting her fucking bougie ass music. Fucking yoga fat loving.
Hey, just send her
okay,
love.
Sending love.
Oh.
Okay, something. No, yep. Cancel, delete all that shit.
God, it's only been 15 minutes and you already dove down into the gutter. It hits you fast, right?
It does. Sending love. Sending love. So, the thing about the program that we have is that we can't do our videos on Rumble yet. I haven't figured that out. If we can. I don't even know if there's an option for that just yet. But I will find out and see what's going on with that, if we can. But right now, there's no way, so... But thank God that the program that we're going through, that sends it out to the 5 different other programs, automatically downloads and records every session that we do. So, yeah, so we don't lose anything, really. Maybe YouTube knocks us down.
We're live on Rumble right now, too, right?
No.
Oh, it won't go there. So we have to...
I haven't seen if there is an option for Rumble because I haven't taken a look at all the other slots, if there's like a custom slot or whatever.
Okay, so we have to download this and then upload it to Rumble. Okay. Maybe we'll start hitting the record button on Zoom so it automatically converts and we can just upload it from there rather than having to do the extra step of downloading.
It's the same process.
Yeah, but it'll automatically be ready for us.
But then they won't be able to hear me shushing you when you're like trying to speak when I'm trying to play the music in the beginning.
Oh, it interferes with any of that? It interferes with our voice or something?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. We'll go the extra mile then. No problem. People need to hear you shushing me for sure. Absolutely.
All right.
They need to know how much you love me.
Well,
what?
I didn't say shit. I did not say anything at all.
Oh, you guys, you should be seeing it here. It's interesting.
I already have a pain in my ass, okay?
I don't intend to be a second pain in your ass. One is enough.
So, 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Tickle time. Gotta tickle. Dog's still here, which means Dad's not home yet.
Are you sure? Because I thought he was home. Wait.
You went to the chiropractor?
Oh. Oh, yeah. Ours is in a couple days, too. 5 days. The 26th. Yeah, my neck is finally given up on that negative.
Your neck is finally what?
You know how it was hurting for the longest time from
Oh, yes.
the chiropractor? Well, it's finally given up, so there's no pain, but once I go back, there's probably going to be a whole lot more pain again. We'll see.
Oh, my. What's this?
Oh, they're going to fuck Joe Biden.
Stop.
Literally.
It's like Brandon.
Stick it all the way up, buddy boy. Brandon's intestine.
Oh, you're bad.
Do it. He deserves it.
So someone is requesting okay, JP. Hang on a sec. Someone is requesting light language, but let me, so I don't forget. Where is Telegram? There it is. Things get buried here so fast.
Right?
What am I looking for?
This.
JP, what am I looking for?
Just that. It's in High Vibes Up.
Oh.
High Vibes Up. All the way down. All the way. There you go. Ooh, somebody just messaged with Rumble.
Oh, come on.
Putin threatens West with nuclear war over Ukraine. Ah, good. They deserve it. There's so much going on. They hear the leaf blower, by the way.
Oh, do they?
Which means that they probably hear all that music as well.
Okay, so someone has requested that I do light language. For those who would like to stick around for it. And those who don't can exit stage left. What is light language? I understand light language to go where the need is needs to be met. So it is smart. It knows what you need, what needs to be done, and will meet you right there to do it. So just set your intentions. Hang on, I gotta switch my channel. We should be unbanned at the end of the week. I always invite you to take a deep breath with me. Set your intentions to just receive all this love wherever the healing is and is needed. What your greatest heart's desire is, focus on that. and allow Kiane and Estoria Nia Shiatoria Nia Kaya. Hia Kia Yan Yesia Yanania Notoria Yesia. Joto Toriana te Kaika Kayanesia Kikioto. Chioto Tiania Sia Soriania. Nyanio Noriania Niesu. Yania Siolia Litoriasi. La Loriania Lianya. Ya Loriania Yanusorianesia. Molorianesia Choriesia. Kokonia Mononoriani. Neosia Toroloriana. Haya Neo Kokorianesia. Tiono Torianian Tokoria Siesioto. Nieto Totoriania Tatayanotoso. Kianiatias. Cianatorianiatas. Ponotoriano non. Gianna Nitornianian. Kukoriania Totonia Diasono. Munononianiana Yanieto. Chino Tatariania Sieto Tanianoto. La Loniania. Nia noto e nia siutori. Ianiata e noto setos. Kia nia nonorienia. Suya nia soria tieso. Hayaniano totayania tiatos. Tiatosiania. Tianali teotoriani. Tiotoriania kakayanio. Royania siatoriania tayo. Kianiana tayano toriania. Come back when you're ready. Wow, that was otherworldly. I was lightheaded.
I couldn't focus because of Lover Rare over there. See, I have higher frequencies right now, which I need to lower my frequencies. Because I'm feeling a lot of the agitation.
We're ready to close up.
Ready, schmetty, when you are. Just remember, guys, mudslides. And every time you go to Applebee's or a bar, you could just think of Candy's mudslide.
Yes, Faith, I do that often.
It's Ronnie's Candyism mudslide.
Well, when I get my crystalline body, that will be a memory of the past.
I think that goes for all of us. Kids chocolate starfish is no longer non-existent. Oh my god. Gala!
Right.
That's
Nice release, huh?
oh yeah. Oh my god. I swear, all of these golems and bossmans and whatever else is coming into our experience to bring us back down into the 3D reality where we don't want to be because we're already in the 4th dimension. Oh.
Don't forget, family, that Isaiah also helps to support us, and because Jason Q is our upline, it helps to support him. And according to Jay and April, who is Jason's upline, so they're our upline too, it is doing wonders for Jason. So we are just so happy about that. And the benefits are win-win. You know, just and you're entering into the 5D economy with that.
Yeah, and he's getting a stable income from this as well, so he's able to keep on pursuing forward with doing the research of what he needs.
And it's starting to help us with some income too, so that is wonderful. We were able to buy a new computer because of that. And so that's been really beautiful, and that's also helping us with our travel too, with this truth tour.
You know, all of these funds are being used for HVU, and we haven't used any of it for personal means. Unlike a lot of these other...
Huh? No comparison.
Okay.
No. No, Kate!
Edna! I need you, Edna!
No, Kate!
You see how I could just sneak in?
Oh, Kelly says mine's going to be delivered tomorrow. We are excited for you, Kelly.
Congratulations! And there was somebody else that was also...
So Diane says, Kid, I feel you just hit on it. 3D pulling us back. We just want to soar.
The higher we go, the stronger the pull. Well, if you think about it.
No slide for you.
She said no mudslide for me? How rude.
So, what were you going to say? Just thinking about it?
It's kind of like a tornado. The higher you go, the bigger it is, right? But the more debris is in the way that knocks you back down. The higher you go, the more the debris. Mm-hmm. Flying cows, witches' houses, witches themselves. Dorothy and her dog.
Oh, we're not in Kansas anymore.
With her little pink red shoes. Red, get it? Red shoes.
Oh, Connie is too. Going into my 2nd month. I'm signed up. Yay, Connie.
That's amazing.
Jay's been telling us that many of you have called up and said, yes, we heard it. We've heard it from other people, but we want to be with HVU. I can't tell you how thrilled that has made both of us. That our family is growing in so many different ways. We're healing together. We're loving together. We're familying together. I think I just made another candyism. We're familying together.
We're familying together. Calliope, right? Kelly? If I remember correctly. Kelly is one that we did a session with. We found the line of the goddesses, the muses.
Wow.
And she comes from the goddess line. Or a goddess line.
We have amazing sessions with people. Amazing.
Right?
Michael Schmidt, yes. We saw that.
Oh!
The Zoom meeting, it says has
this
ended.
is the mother. Okay.
Hey.
What?
The meeting has ended after 40 minutes idle time.
Oh.
Is that going to affect what they're seeing? Is that shutting the show down?
All we have to do is just start a new one. I don't know why it does that. Piece of shit. We're here. Well, the system's still running. Thank God it's not running through the Zoom. The Zoom is just,
Okay.
part of the thing.
Oh, yeah, so it did go to a black screen.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, awesome.
Oops.
Well,
We are very excited to do some of these other sessions. I got a headache. But thank God that we're almost done with this. You notice how every time that we take a break, we go through major detoxes. We go through major releases and breakthroughs and all of these. I'm sorry, but we never have a day off. I swear. Even when it's supposed to be like a week off. We don't have a day off at all. Not in this family. Oh. Yeah, and you're part of the HVU family, so, shucks for you too.
way to encourage them, babe.
and to all the new family members that are going to be joining.
Let's suffer together, right?
Welcome to the Shucks Club. We're all going to suck.
Kristen says, what does that even mean? Day off? She's right.
Right?
Yeah.
There is no such thing as a day off.
Day off from what? Life? Just stop breathing, stop eating, stop doing everything. That's your day off. Yeah, no.
That's like what?
Life continues.
0.11 second every day. That's my day off.
I have such gratitude for you guys and for our family. Just love you all so much. JP, so I sent you a response in Telegram.
JP's like shucking corn? No, it's a new kid word for candyisms. Shucks. Chuck the shucks.
Shucking the corn.
Well, it's very amazing and it's very freeing to be able to just be us here live doing this, and going through a lot of these things live allows all of us to learn and do things together instead of thinking that you are alone in everything that you're feeling, because as you can see, I'm going through my shucks right now, which I'm all over Candy with her candyisms and her mudslides. And you're watching how she's reacting with it, and it's like, yeah, kid, it's okay. It's okay.
Sometimes. What'd you just say?
And we're just like, hee hee hee, tee hee hee.
Melissa says, Candy, you can write a dictionary. It first started with trafficking, right?
Trafficking. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Trafficking's not a word.
Yes, it is.
Well, it should be. Because that's what you encounter when you get out on the main thoroughfare. There we go.
Thoroughfare? What's a thoroughfare? Thorough? Highway? No. Thorough.
Fair. So I think it's fair. F-A-R-E. Like thoroughfare. But that's something not right.
Isn't that like payment fair? Like
Nathaniel.
We're going through a candyism mudslide right now, guys. Buckle up. You're in for a bumpy ride.
You know what, Sammy? I would try the horse paste for the shingles. It's got to be some form of parasite. It has to be.
Well, for what's going on down there with me, we found out that it's ringworm, right? It looks like ringworm. Mm-hmm. And Terra Immunity is really helping. Mm-hmm. So that might really help with the shingles as well.
Okay, so internal and external. So the Terra Immunity is on the WordPress. The under health, the recipe, and its main ingredient is, what do you call that? Usnea.
Usnea, or also known as old man's beard.
Let me get my book.
Now,
hang on a sec.
The studying that Candy has done for a long time with Usnea is that you cannot ingest the plant itself. It is very dangerous, and it could really lead to death. So it's best to stay away from taking the herb itself, but when you soak it in alcohol, it's able to draw out the necessary medicinal properties for you to use as the Terra Immunity. We call it Terra Immunity because it goes into a whole different molecular structure of being able to go deeper into what is there. And it's been clearing up the ringworm that I'm going through. And I've tried almost everything, and ringworm is like a fungus, and that's basically what this,
Well, I heard that when you get chicken pox, it goes into the nerves, and the nerves get activated with stress or with some heavy emotion, and then it comes out. So if it's in the nerves, that could be... Could that be mold?
It could be mold, parasites. It could be a mixture of all three.
Could be.
Because fungus is also activated through a stressful environment, because when you were stressed out, you sweat. And it comes out through the sweat.
So, yeah, I would hit it with several things just because I wouldn't know exactly what would get it, and it's not going to hurt me to do that. So that's how I would handle it for my body. Now look at this. Okay, so this is, you see it? Usnea. We actually have it downstairs, the herb, if you want to grab it.
Where is it?
By the air fryer.
Oh.
Just right of the air fryer.
Okay.
So let me read this to you. Antibacterial, antibiotic, antifungal, antiviral, astringent, diuretic, parasiticide, tonic, tuberculostatic. The whole plant, parts used is the whole plant, which is a lichen growing on branches of trees. The name Usnea may have originated at the time of the Arabian School of Medicine and Pharmacy. Paracelsus, a Swiss physician, has been recognized as the popularizer of the famous doctrine of signatures. This doctrine is a man-centered view of nature, teaching that not only were plants created for man's use, but also each plant demonstrated a clear sign, a signature, to show the purpose for which the plant was intended. Isn't that interesting? So it's kind of like how they say the avocado is good for something because it looks like something. I can't remember what it was. Usnea, or old man's beard, hangs in gray-green strands from pines, oaks, Douglas firs, apple trees, and other fruit trees in orchards and forests throughout the northern hemisphere, and was, due to its appearance, a specific for the hair and scalp. Usnea is used both internally and externally for fungus infections and for viral and bacterial infections. It is an excellent in combinations with echinacea, used as a general herbal antibiotic and antifungal. These medicinal qualities are due to lichen acid, particularly usnic acid. These present a wide range of medical applications. Usnea is good for the treatment of pneumonia, tuberculosis, lupus, internal infections, strep, staph, trichomonas, and other infected wounds. By definition, a lichen is not really a single plant, but two or more organisms living as one in a symbiotic partnership. A lichen has a fungus base which provides a platform that a chlorophyll-bearing algae can gather and provide food, sugars for all. It has been described a nature's solar collector. Usnea is effective against trichomonas, a parasite which can cause, among other things, a serious infection of the uterine cervix. Usnea may also be superior to the drug flagyl, metronidazole. Flagyl is widely prescribed for trichomonas infection, but it can also cause the C. After oral administration, it can be found in the bloodstream, spinal fluid, and breast milk. Nursing mothers should strictly avoid this drug, and it's talking about the flagyl, not the usnea. Usnea acid is toxic, but happily it is poorly and slowly absorbed when in a tea or an alcohol solution, reducing the cause for concern. Usnea acid is barely water soluble. Thus, usnic acid at times is rendered unavailable to the site of the infection, offering the advantages of slow absorption or slow, steady, and longer-lasting release into a site of infection. This is one reason why so many of the European antibacterial, antifungal creams and balms are made from usnea. Due to its strong selective antibacterial activity, usnea has a great advantage in offering superior to the natural defenses of the body. So, yeah.
Just look up Google flagellants and you'll get your word.
So that word, like the spinal fluid, that's what it was basically saying. So pretty powerful herb. And you showed it to him?
Yes, I did, but in case you want to show them again.
Yes.
So it's kind of like the herb that you see, or those those stringy things that you see off the trees, growing off the trees. That's the old man's beard. But it's actually named usnea. But we call it old man's beard because it looks like, literally, an old man's beard. And it's very toxic to the body when you ingest it by itself. But when you make it into a tincture, it becomes a very healing property for the body. And I've been using it every day now. Because when I miss a couple of days, that's when my wound closes up and I get another abscess down there. This is what keeps it open. This is what keeps it draining for me, is the tear immunity pushing out all of the toxins through that area. And since the ASEA is going into all the cells of my body deeper than anything else ever has, and pulling out that rat poison, the wasp poison, the battery acid that it is actually made of, because how they make it is, what they do is that they take a battery, a car battery, they take the wasp poison, they spray the battery, which then creates crystals from the battery acid from the battery acid with the wasp poison, and then they use that as a source to become a liquid in something, and then they put a little bit of rat poison as well. Because there's something in the rat poison that makes it even more condensed, and then they use that one allergy pills that you can only get over with a doctor's prescription. Forgot the name of it. Sudafed or something like that.
Okay, so how do I share screen? Share screen.
Before you do that, I need to check something. Make sure it's not going to work like that. Sorry. See, it's black. So you can't do share screen with this.
Okay.
Just to let you know.
All right. That's fine.
It's not possible. But you can do Windows Capture, Google Chrome. Okay. Transfer. Now you can go through.
Wrong one. Yeah.
That.
Okay. So they can see that now?
I would believe so, yes. They could see it.
Okay. Yep. So we're going to go to HVU University and go to Health, Herb Recipes. Let me see. Yep, that's coming up. Okay. Let's scroll down. Here's my mouthwash recipe.
Once you go black screen, you don't come back. Once you go black, you don't come back.
Right here. Now this is what I use. You can take any of these things and use it, or just use usnea with the echinacea. And there's a reason why I added these other things. I don't remember all of them, but rose hips has an enormous amount of vitamin C, which is helpful to help you to get better. White oak is really good for inflammation. Yarrow, it's got some properties to fight infection, I believe. Same with plantain. You know what echinacea is. Wild cherry bark is really good for coughs. And so I was looking for something that not only would help infection, but if you had the flu or bronchitis or some sort of bronchial type of thing, which happens when you get sinus drainage, which has, some bacteria in it that goes down your throat and it affects the lungs. So, and then it just goes over how you do it. It's very, very easy to do that. Oops. Okay, so now to get back to this and us.
Oops. Yeah. That and don't know why. No. Oh. Remove.
There we go. Okay. Hello. We're back. That's awesome. So I was able to actually give you guys a bird's eye view on how to get to the WordPress and where to find the herbal recipes. Oh, pretty cool.
You can find the WordPress at www.hvumaga.wordpress.com.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm exhausted, so I want to love and leave you guys and go find rest, eat, do something.
All right. So I want to thank every single one of you for being here. It was amazing to be able to host another show with you guys and to be able to have this connection, have this family time, have this love, and just be with each other. And this is the most crucial time, actually, is right now, because no matter what goes on in the world, we can know that this room right here, we are okay. We are good. Everything in this room with all of us, this connection, this love, this family, we are good. And no matter how difficult it may get out there, in here, we're okay. I love you guys. Keep on moving forward. Keep on doing what you're doing, because it's the smallest things that matter, and you guys are creating those ripples, and those ripples are starting to become waves, and those waves are, helping the humanity that we are in the flow of, and we are helping Mr. T do what he needs to do to get this ball up and going. So we love every single one of you. We will see you guys very soon, most likely in Olympia, right? Olympia
this Sunday, right?
I don't remember. It's someday this week, this month, this year,
right?
Somewhere. I'm not good with dates. All right, I love you guys, and we will see you guys soon.
Probably not going to want to hear this, but I'm going to say it anyway. Always go with the choice that scares you the most, because it's the choice that's going to help you grow.
Wow.
I can't do negative today. Positive vibes, positive vibes.
Hey, best friend. Wait. To the person seeing this, I know you're tired. I know you're fed up and so close to breaking. But remember, you have strength within you even when you feel weak. Keep fighting, best friend.